Welcome to my official rating for Grand Teton National Park. And just like all my other ratings for all my other national parks, I don't rank a national park unless I fully immerse myself enough to really feel what this national park has to offer. So no visitor center passport stamp rating here. So let's get into it. So 15 years ago, we tried to go to the Grand Tetons when we were staying in Yellowstone, and we had one full day dedicated to the Grand Tetons. However, the day that we were supposed to do that, there was a giant blizzard coming in. And because we were in a itty bitty car, roughing it and waiting it out wasn't in the cards for us, so we had to leave a day early. So this trip is 15 years in the making, and I am so excited I was finally able to get down here and explore this place. But before we get into my official rating, we got to talk about what makes this park so special. The little segment I like to call my 5 favorite fun, interesting, and unique facts of Grand Teton National Park. Here we go.
Number 5.
The Grand Teton mountain range is considered to be one of the youngest in the Rocky Mountains and in the world, but it also contains rocks to be 2.7 billion years old.
Number 4.
The Teton mountain range was created by 10 million years of seismic activity. When the 40-mile-long Teton Fault experiences an earthquake, the Teton range uplifts by 2 to 3 feet, and the valley floor drops 4 to 6 feet on average with every earthquake.
Number 3.
The elk that reside in the Grand Tetons are part of the Jackson elk herd, which is the largest elk herd in North America. The elk herd winters at or around the National Elk Refuge near Jackson, Wyoming, and usually consists of 9,000 to 17,000 animals.
Number 2.
In addition to the largest elk herd in North America, Grand Teton also boasts the fastest land animal in North America, the pronghorn, which can run up to 70 miles an hour. It also boasts one of the smallest birds in North America, the calliope hummingbird, coming in at only 3 inches long and weighing only 1/10 of an ounce.
Number 1.
All right, this is the fun one. The Teton Mountain Range gets its name thanks to a group of early French-Canadian fur trappers who apparently were really horny and had been out in the wilderness for quite some time, stumbled upon the mountain range and proclaimed them Les Trois Tetons, which is translated in English as the 3 breasts. And that is the name that stuck. Large Breast National Park. I'm going to be honest, I honestly don't see it. But who cares? This national park just got to be so much more fun. And just a fair warning, probably going to have maybe too much fun with it, but that's okay. I didn't name it. And now it's time for my official rating for this national park. And after 4 full days of deep, intimate exploration of these Tetons, I am ready to give you my official rating for this national park. And for that rating, I've broken down into 5 separate categories. Those categories being accessibility and amenities, recreational opportunities, plants and wildlife, scenery, and most important, personal experience. So let's get into the first category, accessibility and amenities. Does this national park have really good accessibility and amenities? It does. There's several different ways you can access this park. So I-89 basically runs north and south along the heart of the park. And then you have I-26 that kicks off to the east. There's also several different main hubs of the national park, like Signal Mountain, Jackson Lake, Jenny Lake, and the small little community of Moose that provides different restaurants, grocery stores, visitor centers, and gift shops. 8 different campgrounds. There's also 8 official different lodges and cabins that you can stay at. So National Park also boasts one of the only commercial airports within a national park in the United States. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I'll get to that later. But for accessibility and amenities, this park earns high praise. So recreational opportunities. The start of the show here is obviously hiking and backpacking. There are just numerous different trails for all different levels throughout the national park. And Beyond backpacking and hiking, there's also a lot of other things to do here as well. You've got boating that you can do on Jackson Lake. There's boat tours both on Jenny Lake and Jackson Lake. Beyond that, you can also do whitewater rafting and scenic floats down the Snake River as well, which are also popular activities. You can also go fishing in the lakes or the Snake River, horseback riding, bike trails that you can do. In addition to all the summer activities, you have cross-country skiing, you have snowshoeing. You also have several ski resorts that are very, very close by. So there's just so many different recreational opportunities that can be had at this national park, so it earns high praise. Plants and wildlife. So the Tetons are also not only famous for the mountain range, but also for the opportunities to see different plants and wildlife while you're here. With plants, you have the high alpine area with the high alpine meadows, high alpine trees, as well as the forests that line the hillsides of the mountains themselves. And the sagebrush extends out into the valley from the mountains, which is quite scenic. And it provides numerous different opportunities to spot different wildlife. You have bears, you have deer, elk, moose. Not only do you have the large animals, but also the small animals. You have timber tigers, pikas, ground squirrels, marmots. You have all sorts of different types of birds, waterfowl, predators like bald eagles, golden eagles, ospreys, as well as so many different types of amphibians and fish as well. I think one of the neatest things I got to see was the golden eagle that was along the float trip down the Snake River. So I've only been able to see a golden eagle once in my life. It was really a highlight when it came to all the different animals that we spotted. So in the plants and wildlife category, it earns really, really high praise, and it really excels here. So, all right, so we're moving up to some of the more important categories. Scenery. Is the Grand Teton scenic? Well, of course they're scenic. They're famous for a reason. Part of what makes them so scenic is because the valley floor is just, it's flat and there's no real foothills to the mountains, and the mountains just literally just jet up from the valley floor. And what adds to the scenery is having the Snake River flow through the national park. It's simply stunning. Lake Solitude, if you didn't catch my review there, one of the best trails I've ever done, with one of the most magnificent views on any trail you're going to find. It was really, really special. As far as scenery goes, this national park is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful, and it earns really, really high marks in that category. The last and most important category, personal experience. Did I have a great time at this national park? Yes, I had a wonderful time at this national park. And I have a few gripes, which we'll get to in a second. All the hiking trails, everything that we did was pretty awesome. Not only that, but the hiking trails, all the viewpoints are stunning. Everything was great. My biggest gripes to this national park are kind of two things. One, it gets really, really crowded. We were here in the summer, toward the middle of August, and there was generally a lot of people, especially around the Jenny Lake Visitor Center, as well as trying to get over to Inspiration Point. It's just super crowded in that area. In addition to that, the other main issue that I had, which is probably my biggest gripe, is because there's a commercial airline in the national park, even though it's on the very south side of the national park, the flight path for the commercial airlines runs right over the national park. So it was a constant annoyance. And I'm not talking about like having a plane go by every once in a while. It was an all-day thing. And it kind of a really, really downer here, because when you're out hiking around, enjoying the view, and then having a commercial airliner just fly right over your head, kind of distracts from the moment. And that's my biggest gripe with this national park. Like, I can deal with the crowds to a certain extent, but having commercial airlines going over your head all day, every day was a bit much. But other than that, I had a really good time at this national park. So it does earn good praise in this category. And now would be a good time to kind of illustrate what my favorite experience was at this national park. I know Lake Solitude was high up on my list. And beyond that, and I've already kind of shared that with you, but beyond that, I think my favorite experience at this national park was the scenic float down the Snake River. It just provides a different vantage point of the national park. It was just really quiet and relaxing. And it was really great to do that and get away from some of the other more high traffic areas of the park. I highly recommend it. And I'll put more information in the description if that's something that you're interested in. And now to get to my official rating for this park, with those 5 categories, personal experience being the most important, I rate this park all day, every day. And I have to admit, I almost rated this park the gold standard, but that commercial airport with the commercial airplanes flying overhead and just the crowds in general just doesn't quite push it over the top for me. But it's close. But from here, we're moving on to my series on Yellowstone National Park. And I'm excited to share with you our experiences and some of the many trails and places we got to visit while we're there. So stay tuned for those. Those are coming. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. And if you did, hit a like, hit a subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.